Hi and welcome to a casual games and tech video. Today we're gonna explore my Star Wars video game collection. I believe this is the most complete Star Wars video game collection in the world. Again, there might be other people that have the same or similar. I know at least one. Hi Chris. Again, for some reason I set this as a goal when I started watching the gaming collecting YouTube channels. Again, I believe collecting everything is ridiculous somehow because you can never really be done. So instead of going that way, I decided, so how can I achieve something collecting wise that makes not sense, but a little more sense maybe, that you can actually complete. So I, instead of going wide with everything for every single console, every game, I instead chose a franchise. So and see if I could collect every single game for a single franchise. And again, I chose Star Wars video games because I grew up with the games in the 90s. I have some fond memories of them, and I hope it will be a good investment as well. But let's wait and see. It's hard to predict. So the way we're gonna do it is I'm gonna zoom in on each section more or less, and then we're gonna just open a few boxes so you can see what the experience is like. If there any particular game you want to know more about, please put it in the comment, and I will do my best to answer. As you can see, I have heaps of games here, right? So maybe even more than last gamer, Star Wars wise at least. So let's dig in. So we're gonna start with the PC games because that is what I have the most fond memories of. So as you can see here, we have the big boxes. Unfortunately, they are this side here, but I hope you can see the name of them here. We're just gonna look at a few. So we're gonna look at the X-Wing because it came in a special edition. And I also want to highlight the arcade game. So again, let's shift into, and welcome back. So if we take age-wise PC gaming, I think this is one of the oldest. So this is 1973. Oh, sorry, 1978. Sorry, 87. So it's based on the arcade made by Bound. So this one is sealed, so I'm not gonna open this one up. I have another version here from Domark, which is also 87. It's on a floppy. I checked it, it works. It's pretty cool. I have seen one of this on eBay up here. And I really believe it's legit, but I have had a hard time actually finding some information about it. So the next one I want to just quickly show you is X-Wing. Everybody knows that game, but did you know it came in a special limited edition? As you can see, the limited includes that it has a booklet inside called the Farlander Papers, and in this book there's actually some lore of Star Wars that is not official anywhere else than in this game here. Really cool. So also just wanted to bring TIE Fighter in here, and the reason I want to bring in TIE Fighter is to show you the manual. So again, this is not a manual, this is a book, and the same goes, there's actually a lot of storytelling in this one. It's a really cool experience if you ask me. Why are we not doing this anymore? Really cool. Back. So again, that was TIE Fighter, X-Wing, the TIE Fighter series with expansions. We have then X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Then we have a few weird expansions. So Flight School and the Academy. And as I can understand it, these are limited editions, which means not limited that they're rare, but that they have fewer missions in them. Again, this one is sealed, but again, that's what I could find out, at least. Yes, then we go to X-Wing Alliance. I guess this is my favorite game. We then go to the Jedi Knight series. It started with Dark Forces 2. Game I want to highlight here is Jedi Outcast in the special 10-box edition. And I also just want to show you Star Wars chess while we have it. So, Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast. Really, really great game. I don't know if this hand guy doesn't believe we get the whole experience here, but that's up to him. So, based on the Quake 3 engine, we got a nice manual. We get a nice little trinket here. Lightsaber that flashes. Really cool. And we get 3 games. So, Star Wars, Dark Forces, and Dark Forces 2. Okay. Another game I just want to highlight here is Star Wars Chess, or Battle Chess, as a lot of you maybe know the game was called. So, not really that interesting. The interesting part is how many floppy disks we have here. So I think it is 14 fucking floppies, man. That is insane. So imagine how long it will take to actually install this game here. Don't check it out, you don't have. So we continue with the PC big box. Monopoly, Rebel Assault, Supremacy, or Rebellion as it is known outside UK at least. Shadows of the Empire. I never knew it existed on PC. I always played it on the 64, but it's almost the same. We have the episode 1 with its characteristic side art here. So Battle for Naboo apparently came in a big box, but I bought it in a DVD case, but it seems it were promoted as a big box here, as you can see, but not for retail. And this was imported from the States. The Rebel Assault for Mac here. Have X-Wing for Mac, Razor for Mac, Dark Forces. Then we have an X68000. Apparently, Joel the Last Gamer says there's a limited edition of this with a figurine in it of Darth Vader. I don't know if I trust him, if it's something he put in there himself, but could be fun to know. There's nothing on Google. So here we go into Star Wars software, which I'm also collecting. So it's basically everything that is digital and runs on computer or consoles. So here we have the visual arts or visual clips, which is small video clips. We have audio clips, which is small sound samples that you can install. So when you empty your trash bin, I think in Windows, it will play a sound. And you have that for each movie. You have the trilogy edition, which came on a CD-ROM. Then we have the insider's guide and behind the scenes. So these are pretty classic. So like what do you call it? Yeah, a place where you can find information about Star Wars. And then we have screen entertainment. So this one is the German version, and I think this one is the more international version in English. It's the same content, where you get the media clips of Star Wars. Then we go into the learning games. We have Anakin Speedway, Jar Jar's Journey, Yoda's Challenge, and Early Learning. I also have Star Wars Math, not in big box. I have seen it appear one time at eBay. If you are willing to sell it, I will happily buy it from you for a really good price as well. But it has to be the big box. We have Star Wars Droids, Pit Droids. Then we have the Gungan Frontier here. And that kind of concludes the PC big boxes. I have a few here called Lucasarts Archives. I'm not gonna go into too much detail around them. But Again, I don't collect what do you call it, compilations of games unless they have something extra that are not in the versions of the PC big boxes. So I collect mainly the main release. So what we're gonna shift to now is a few other games here, special edition. So we have Star Wars Galaxies, which came in one of these famous boxes. It's sealed. I actually have one opened coming my way. Then we have Knights of the Old Republic with a figurine, quite large inside, soundtrack, book, etc. The Star Wars the Old Republic hardware accessories by Razer, or made by Razer. We have the mouse, the headset, the mouse pad, and up here, if you want to see, I have the keyboard as well in working condition. Quite cool. Don't have the case for that, but eBay prices are ridiculous. So I think that concludes the PC big box games. So I just want to highlight here a few games that are kind of rare. So here we have an, I guess, handheld electronic game. I have started slowly to collect the Tiger ones, but this one is kind of special. It's a Japanese release only from '83, so this means in the very, very early days of official licensed games. This is one, basically the first one. I'm not gonna pronounce the name. It's Japanese Sokuda, I guess. Then we have Star Wars. Again, this is before we had licensed Star Wars games, so this is for, I guess it's called Sheen in the United States. In Germany it's called Telespiel. Some different versions. But again, as you can see, we don't have the Star Wars font here, but it's from 1978. And the same goes here for the Star Wars for the Apple II. 1978 here as well. And we actually have Star Trek on the other side. But again, so official as it can be in 78, but not Lucasfilm approved, as you can see. So let's move down. We have a few more big boxes here. We have for the Atari home computer. These are also quite big. So Return of the Jedi and the arcade game here. We have more Bruderbound versions here. The Atari ST, the Commodore. And then we have Night Shift, which is, I guess, technically not a Star Wars game. But as you can see, most Star Wars characters appear. So I collect them whenever I see them. Then we go to some mixed stuff here. So here we have Star Wars Bloxel, I think it's called, where you can actually build your own Star Wars game together with an iPad. This R2D2 laptop. Then we have a lot of plug and plays. I recently bought this one because this has the game key included, which add 2 more games. So I might sell this one, which doesn't have the key. More plug and plays. We have a digital camera, which have games included. Again, we have a camera behind here with some Star Wars software, so it counts. We have a Tiger Electronics Rebel Forces. Again, I'm not collecting everything, but this one is too cool not to collect, right? So you have actually a light gun here that works with the game. Go down here to some more collectibles. So this is the first official Star Wars, licensed Star Wars game here. 79, if I'm not totally incorrect. We have the Star Wars Clone Wars Lego game here in a limited edition with a Darth Vader, and I have the same with Yoda behind with the Nintendo DS. So here we have another plug and play, and behind that I have a Battlefront 2 loot box. Yeah, it was fun and cheap. So now we have down here the Xbox limited edition. Everybody knows that. Metal Jesus got it donated from a fan. have this Tactics, I think, because it has a CD-ROM included. You can see it here. The PlayStation 4 limited edition. Then a few things here. The PSP limited edition. Again, it's the white PSP with a Darth Vader logo printed on the battery cover. Pretty cheap way to do it. Then here we have a Wii controller. A third party, of course. But it's really bad quality. Again, try and see how the art here is not aligned with the button one. I have seen this one place in one auction in eBay. I can find nothing on it at Google, so I guess Disney retracted it as soon as they saw it. So again, I'm slowly branching into Star Wars game related hardware. So again, a PS3 controller. I have a Xbox One controller here, which I'm using, so it's not the box. I have a weird, really cheap licensed Star Wars Chinese console. Don't buy it. Then we have the Jedi challenges down here, and a few Lego figurines here. So if we jump over here, we have more or less all the Star Wars Disney Infinity 3.0. I'm missing a few light effects figurines, but I have most of them. I think they're kind of cool to display. We have all the Star Wars Infinity games, including a really weird one I recently discovered, which is the Star Wars Disney Infinity for the Apple TV. Pretty cool. I don't own an Apple TV, but it was cheap enough. Here is a VHS collection. I'll maybe do a video on that another time. Then we have one more plug and play. They take up a lot of space, these ones here. So we have the really interesting one here. So this is the Millennium Falcon Cd-Rom Playset. So this is basically a device that you attach on top of your keyboard, your old school IBM keyboard. I guess I have tested it works on my Razer mechanical keyboard, but not on basically the rest of the keyboards. Really cool. Another Disney Infinity, the PlayStation 4 edition, which comes with the Boba Fett. We have the N64 Razer Episode 1. It's just a black N64 with a Star Wars game, so nothing really special. We have another plug and play with a lightsaber. We get a video game. We have Star Wars DITJ, including a Star Wars game here. I also have the other game for the system. So this is a system centered around learning activities. And then I have the Droid developer kit, because there's some Star Wars software and a little game included as well. Down here, it's not pretty. I've started collecting some Tiger Electronics. So again, actually some of these, the Arzone ones, are on cartridges. So they count as games and systems. Do I want to collect them all? Probably not. But some of them are actually quite cheap. And I actually got the weird VR headset down here. But again, this is for another video once I get a few more of these. So let's just take the top up here. So up here I have the Darth Vader edition of the Atari 1600. Up here I have one of the newer Blaster Strike, so plug and play. This is from episode 7. Here I have started to collect some of the game guides. So again, as you can see, they are actually crazy big, but they are quite cool and official. Again, they then branched into the Prima guides at some point, but some of the books are still really Really, really cool. A few of them are still sealed. I might open them up. So down here we have some accessories. Let me go back a little. Just one more plug and play. So this is the Clone Trooper plastic game. Then we have some lightsabers attachment. I think I have all of them. I have the what is called Republic Heroes gun, and maybe more importantly, I have it in the limited edition of number 60 out of 75. I got this for $1 on an eBay auction because it had received a little water damage here. But the gun itself is completely new in box, and it's a nice gold color. And to the last part here. So here we have all the DVD, CD, cartridge-based games here. GameCube. Have one, the limited edition here with a preview disc. We have the Wii U, the NES. So I have the original for the NES and the one for the Famicom here. So this is not the same game, just to be aware of that. So they were released on different as different versions, but it came later on the Famicom as well. I have Empire Strikes, the Empire Strikes Back coming from the States, the free Super Nintendo or Super Nintendo here. Then we have N64. All of the games. So actually, Battle for Naboo, actually hard to get. Again, I played this on PC. Didn't know it was on N64. So here we have Xbox. So I think this is the game with the most games. One thing, if you're European, to remember is the Starfighter Special Edition only came out in the States. We have 360 with the famous Star Wars Kinect. Gotta love or hate that game. Then we have a few special editions. We have this one Lego with Lego figurine. We have this one Force Unleashed 2 with the special USB stick and some artwork. Xbox One, still missing Battlefront 2, etc. Then we have Sega stuff. Have for the Master System, we have the Game Gear here, and there are two versions of this one. This is the US Gold version, and then I saw this version here, a 4 meg version. More memory means more action. I have not yet confirmed if it's actually the same ROM or not, or what it means, or if it's something compared to the Game Boy. We have Return of the Jedi, sealed. This was one of the hardest games to find for a long time. Then we have the arcade game for the 32X. Game Boy stuff. Again, original Game Boy, the first 3, Game Boy Color. And then we go to Game Boy Advance. We have the Nintendo DS. All PAL versions. We have the 2 games for the Vita. Then we have the 3 for the Dreamcast. We have, I cannot remember. Yeah, so for the Sega CD. And here we have for the, I think it's for the 3DO, or is it all? No, Sega CD. And this one is for the 3DO. PlayStation 1. PSP. Nothing special there. PlayStation 2. Here again we have a game only from the States, so this was not released in Europe, I think. We have PlayStation 3. We then get the exact same special edition. Have a little steelbook here for Battlefront. Then we have PC games in DVD covers. What's to mention here? So there's Empire at War in a collector's edition. I think this came out in Germany and the States and nowhere else, because that's what I could find on eBay. So I got the German version. So most of you know these games, and nothing really that rare. So a game I never heard of before is Clone Wars Adventures. So it was closed down once I got it, but it was an online game only. Then we have a special TIE Fighter demo here, interactive demo that some companies could buy and I guess give as promotion. We have all the Galaxies versions here. So we have a starter kit, we have the original release, we have a trial DVD kit here, complete online adventures, the total experience, jump to light speed, and I also have a beta set here, which is kind of cool, I think. Then we have the Apple games, the ones I have. I'm missing a few here. So we have the Jedi Knight Academy, Jedi Outcast, etc. And I recently just got these, the Galactic Battleground as well. Then we have a DVD game. So is that a console game or a video game? I don't know. I have it. And I said I didn't collect other than the original versions, but over the time I bought these myself in the 90s, early 2000s, and I have collected a few, so I'll keep these the purple ones that look like this, just for fun. So now let's shift to the computer, so our personal computer games. So here we have the 3 Amigas. So you will see these are basically all the same. The same 3 Domark releases for Amiga. And the same, let me see, I don't remember what this is, for Atari ST. Then we have a homebrew Star Wars for the Atari Jaguar. Down here we have Commodore 64. No, sorry, Spectrum. We have Droids, Return of the Jedi, we have Night Shift as well. Then we have arcade game for the 5200 here. And we have for the Coleco version. I actually got the second one for the 5200, but the seller sent me the wrong one, so that was pretty annoying. Then we have the Intellivision, the Atari 2600. I have the arcade game, but I'm missing the box. And another version here. Here we have the Commodore 64. So again, I had the big box from Bruderbound and then these ones. So 1, 2, and 3. We have Night Shift. We have so what are they called again? The Hit Squad releases. We have Star Wars for VIC-20. It's a homebrew, I think. Star Wars Droids. And I think down here we have the BBC Micro, etc. I cannot remember all of them in my head here. And last but not least, we have the Leapster games here. For the Leap Pad and the Leapster 2 and the GJ or whatever it's called. So I think this concludes at least my take on the biggest Star Wars video game collection, maybe in the world, or most complete. Again, I'm missing under 5 games or so officially. A few of the new ones are missing Pinball for the Switch, etc. But I will buy them once they hit the lowest price. Again, I don't need to play those games. So I hope you enjoyed this. So let me know if there's any game you want to check out specifically. We can have a look at that. Have a nice day.